two of the most dangerous characters in anime, both extraordinarily intelligent, both resourceful, both capable of walking into any situation and leaving it permanently altered, both surrounded by destruction wherever they go. And yet, they could not be more different in the most fundamental way possible. Johan Liebert destroys because nothing matters. Makishima Shogo destroys because something does. One is a void, the other is a conviction. And the question this video is asking, the one that keeps me up at night thinking about both of them, is which one is actually more dangerous. Johan Liebert was not born a nihilist. He was made into one. The experiments, the institution, the methodical removal of identity from a child who had done nothing to deserve it. All of that produced a mind of extraordinary capability with no attachment to anything, no investment in the world continuing, no reason to value what other people valued, no self to protect, and therefore no limits on what could be done to others. Nihilism in its philosophical form is a position, the belief that life has no inherent meaning, that values are constructed rather than discovered, that the universe is indifferent to human suffering. Nietzsche engaged with it as a problem to be overcome, a starting point, not a destination. Johan never got past the starting point. For him, nihilism isn't a philosophy, it's a personality. The void isn't something he arrived at through reasoning. It's what remained when everything that could have made him human was taken away. He doesn't argue for meaninglessness, he embodies it. And the particular cruelty of how he operates is that he doesn't destroy people directly. He plants seeds, asks questions, creates situations where people destroy themselves, as if to prove that the darkness he carries is not unique to him, but universal. That underneath every person's constructed meaning is the same emptiness he found at the bottom of his own. He has nothing to lose, no belief that could be challenged, no inner life to reach. The void doesn't negotiate. That is what makes him a force of nature rather than a person. And forces of nature, however devastating, have paths you can step out of. Makishima Shogo is something more specific and more unsettling than a nihilist. He is an existentialist with a Machiavellian method. His diagnosis of the Sibyl system is accurate. His argument about what managed society does to human beings, removing the necessity of genuine moral choice, producing people who have never had to decide who they are, is philosophically coherent. He isn't wrong about the problem. What separates him from Johan is precisely this. Makishima believes in something. He has a coherent worldview. Meaning must be chosen. Free will is sacred. The capacity for genuine moral decision, even the decision to do terrible things, is what makes human beings human rather than managed variables in a system. He rebels against the detachment of free will, suffering, and choice. He is fighting for something he genuinely believes is worth fighting for. And that is exactly what makes him more dangerous than a void. Because Makishima has followers, his conviction is contagious. It sounds like truth, because in many ways it is truth. And a man who genuinely believes he is fixing the world for others, not for himself, is capable of justifying anything, not out of selfishness, but out of dedication. This is the most historically dangerous kind of person, not the monster who knows he's a monster, the idealist who never questions whether his methods have already made him one. Johan is a force of nature. You can survive a force of nature by stepping out of its path. Makishima is an idea. Ideas don't have paths you can step out of. Here is where both of them converge, and where the most uncomfortable truth about them lives. Both are Machiavellian. Both decided the outcome was important enough to justify any method of reaching it. Both removed the humanity from the people around them in service of a position about humanity. Johan strips people of meaning to prove there was never any meaning to strip. He engineers encounters, plants suggestions, creates situations designed to produce self-destruction. Because he needs people to confirm his worldview, the experiments continue. The void propagates. Makishima strips people of safety and certainty to prove that genuine choice exists. He engineers situations where the Sibyl system cannot decide for his subjects, and they must be human beings rather than managed variables. Because he needs people to make real decisions to prove his thesis. The argument continues, the conviction propagates. Both of them are running experiments on human beings to validate conclusions they already reached. And here is the question that neither of them can answer, the one that sits at the center of everything both series are asking. Is it genuinely choice if the experimenter has already decided what the result needs to be? Makishima would say that in a Sibyl-managed world, his subjects would never have chosen at all without him, that he gave them something the system denied them, that the catalyst is not responsible for what the reaction produces. Johan would say nothing, because nothing means anything anyway. One defends his Machiavellianism with philosophy. The other doesn't need to defend anything at all. The honest answer is that they are dangerous in completely different ways, and both ways are total. Johan's danger is infinite because it costs him nothing. He has no stake in the outcome, no ideology that could be disproven, no relationship that could humanize him, no argument you could make that would give him reason to stop. He will keep doing what he does until it is physically impossible for him to continue, not because he wants to win, but because winning and losing mean nothing to him equally. You cannot reason with a void. You cannot appeal to it. You cannot offer it something it values more than what it's doing. The only response to Johan is physical intervention, because there is no inner life to reach. Makishima is dangerous in the opposite way. He can be reasoned with, which means he can convince you. His arguments are real. His diagnosis is accurate. The problem he's pointing at exists, and a person who agrees with the diagnosis even partially becomes susceptible to the method. He recruits, he persuades, he makes people feel that what he's doing is necessary and even noble. Johan leaves a trail of broken individuals. Makishima leaves a trail of broken individuals who believed in something. The second trail is harder to clean up. One destroys because nothing matters. The other destroys because something does. And sitting with both of them, really sitting with them, not just watching them as villains to be defeated, but as philosophical positions made flesh, forces a question that neither monster nor psychopath fully resolves. Is conviction more dangerous than emptiness? Because emptiness, for all its horror, at least doesn't recruit. It doesn't inspire. It doesn't make you feel like the destruction is justified by the principle behind it. Makishima's victims died for something he believed in. Johan's victims died for nothing. I genuinely don't know which is worse. And I think that uncertainty, that inability to rank one horror above the other, is exactly what both stories were pointing at all along. Drop it in the comments. Which do you think is more dangerous, and why? Build quietly. Walk your path